Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing a what to buy update for the Blitz auction. So we have some new tanks that have come out and we have new updated prices for a lot of tanks that were already here. So we're going to be talking through everything that is currently in the auction and whether or not it is worth it. So we're going to make this kind of quick because I don't want to, be wasting anybody's time here. A lot of this is pretty simple, and so let's get right into it. First up, we have the K91. So this is down to 8.75k gold with still 2,000 vehicles left. So this one, me personally, this is an amazing deal. Currently, that next price drop you're going to be able to easily get to with still 2,000 vehicles left, and that is going to be an absolutely stellar deal. 8,000 gold for K91 is absurdly cheap, and yeah, that is a fantastic deal. Highly recommend. Same exact thing for the Conf Panzer 70, 7.75k gold down to 7,500 the next drop. This one has a lot less vehicles, and the next drop is not as lucrative, not as cheap. So if you want to be safe, you probably can definitely get the next drop because these have been these have been here for a while now. These have definitely made it quite a bit farther than I thought they would, especially for how cheap these are. Less than 8k gold for a Conf Panzer 70 is pretty absurd. This is a great tank. This is a really fun tier 9. This is a fantastic deal currently, and it's just getting better. Next up, we have the AT-15. So this is a tier 7, 4k gold right now. You still have 3,000 vehicles left. This is going to drop to 3.5k and probably drop down to near 3k. I would wait for that, and then once you get there, that's not a terrible deal. This is an interesting tank. It's, kind of up to you if you like it or not. It can be good, but it can also be, it's an AT tank. It can be kind of bad at the same time. So it's a unique tank to have. So having, 3k gold for that, if you can get it down to that drop, it's not bad if you want to pick it up. Next up, we have the Skoda T27. Now, this is a tier 8. This tank is pretty good, pretty solid tank. Right now, it is 6k gold. You have about 3,000 vehicles left. The only thing I would say is you can literally spend 1 point less than 2k gold more and get a tier 9. So you just keep that in mind. The tier 9 is going to be a much better tank overall to get just because it's a higher tier. For your value here, the Skoda T27 is a solid tank. It's going to drop down to 5.5, probably drop down to 5. If you can get that down to 5, yeah, that's a good deal right there. 5k for Skoda would be pretty solid, for sure. Next up, Chieftain T95 for 5k gold. I'm going to be honest, this tank's just kind of booty. It's not the best tank. It's not a terrible price, but you can get other tanks here for, you can get much better tanks here for similar price or just slightly more expensive. So I would stay away from this one just because the tank is not the best. Even if it drops down towards like 4k gold, there's better things to get than the Chieftain. Next up, AMX 1357. So this is an absolutely amazing tank. It's so much fun to play. This is just a tank everyone should have just for fun, especially in game modes and stuff like that. It is just an absolutely fun tank to play. So you have 3,000 vehicles left on this still, so you're probably going to get this down to around 3k, near 3k, which is an absolutely fantastic deal for this. 3k for an AMX is absolutely solid. Highly recommend that one. Next up, we have the T28 Defender for 6.25k gold. So this one is not the best. The T28 Defender is not the best tank. It's okay. It used to be pretty good, but it's not the best anymore. You're gonna get this down to probably near 5k, I would assume. If you get that down to 5k, it's not terrible, but you have other better tanks. Like I'd rather go for a Skoda there for sure, or something like that, or spend a little bit more. 1.5k more gold, and you can go get a Conf Panzer instead. So yeah, I would definitely stay away from this one. It is probably not your best use of money there. Next up, we have the Object 252U. This is still out. Barely anyone's bought it because everyone has this tank already. Everyone has an Object 252U, let's be honest. And 5.5k gold is the lowest this is going right here. Honestly, there's probably just other tanks I would get that are more fun than this. This is just your standard Soviet tier 8 heavy tank. There's just so many of them at this point. This tank used to be super OP. I don't know if it's really anywhere near as OP as it used to be honest. Next up, we have the Canaveral Defender. So, unfortunately, I don't actually have this tank, so I don't know how good this is. But it's down to 800 vehicles, 5k price. This is a tier 8. You probably can't go too wrong with that. 5k gold for tier 8 isn't going to be a terrible price no matter what. And it's probably, as a defender tank, it's probably decent. It's not going to be a terrible tank. It's probably decent out there. So that one's kind of up to you if you want to go for that or not. Then next up we have the Sphere. The Sphere. I always have trouble pronouncing that, bro. 4.5k gold. This tank is kind of booty. There's no reason to buy this tank, let's be honest. You can just get tech tree tanks that are very similar to this. Yeah, there's not really much reason to buy this tank at all. I would just stay away from it. Go buy the AMX instead or something like that. So yeah, that's going to be the updated what to buy for the Blitz auction.